Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Drop Pod, episode 3. Keaton here, and I'm joined once again by Joe. Hello, Joe.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
And as I was just saying before we started recording, I had to rethink about which episode this was, because I actually made the same mistake in last week's recap video. I thought this was going to be episode 4, and I actually remember when I was editing the video, I was like, wait, why did I say episode 4? And... yeah. I just remembered it, actually. It's because I made the stupid joke about Half-Life 3 in the last episode. So that's what stuck out to me. But anyway, this is episode 3. And we're talking about quite a few different topics, I think. A nice spread, if you will. If this was a catering, buffet. I don't know. Yeah, a buffet of lovely industry deliciousness. Yeah. So let's start with what we've been playing on the channel this month, because actually we did a lot of different games this month. I think probably more games than we've done in any other previous month, I think. So
there's been so many. We especially new games. So I remember playing Standpoint at the start of March. Actually, I've had that game for a while. What was it? It must be like a month before release or something. So I had that game for a long time, but not all the content was unlocked. So I literally was playing it at like the start of March, trying to wrap that up before release. And I don't think I even did. I think I ended up playing that after its release. But I pretty much did all the videos for that and unlocked all the secrets. And that wasn't easy to do, man. I hope people appreciate that. So,
well, very few games. It's very you got to give props to like anybody who tries to cover an entire game before it releases, you know, because usually you really don't get the game that much sooner than the release date. So would you consider Standpoint the game of the month for you? Out of all the new things that you played this month, all the newfangled things that we got an opportunity to try out, what would you say is the shining beacon in March?
Oh, dude. There's too many. There was like Standpoint, Parallax, Oceanhorn was good. Don't even forget about Hotline Miami, which you played for the channel. City Skylines, I played a lot of that. And I feel like I'm even forgetting other titles that maybe I played. But man, I don't know if it was the best. It's really hard to say, you know, because like City Skylines I've been really enjoying, but it's a completely different genre to say what Standpoint was. So
right. Yeah. Well, let's quickly talk about City Skylines then. So City Skylines, I think I read an article, or I read the title. I didn't actually get to read the article, but apparently City Skylines was greenlit after the debacle with SimCity, the reboot of SimCity, right? Yeah. So would you say that, because you've played SimCity, right?
I've only played the older versions. I've never played the latest iteration of it. Yeah.
All right. So, would you say that City Skylines is a good SimCity game? Do you think that it holds up to like the standards that classic SimCity players look for?
Yeah, it's easily the best city builder I've played in a long time. I think if you just want to like a straight up city builder, I think it's easily like the best one there's been. I think some people are kind of, I think SimCity had more of like a comedic side to it. You had different things. It was like, you had like those, I guess like natural disasters and things where, you know, earthquakes and volcanoes and flooding and all that kind of random stuff. And I guess that's missing from Cities Skylines. And but if you just want like a really kind of just really good city building management game, it's easily the best one. And I think what makes it the best as well, I mean, is the Steam Workshop. There's just so much stuff on there already. It's like insane how much content is being uploaded to that daily. And anything that anybody wants is being added to that. There's like terraforming mods, so you can like change the land. It's just crazy, man. It's just, how long? It's like, what, been out like just over 2 weeks?
Yeah.
It's easily up there with SimCity. It's a past SimCity. It's really good. I'm really glad it's had the success it's had.
So, I mean, would you say that it's a surprising sort of a
sleeper hit? Yeah, I'd say it probably is. Especially just because I think the way they kind of I mean, the publicity for that game kind of only really skyrocketed when people on Twitch and YouTube started playing it.
Yeah.
So I got early copies to certain people, and that's when I got interested in it. I watched a few Twitch streams, and you know, I ended up watching them for like hours and hours, and that's really what got me into the game. You know, I just wanted a change, man. I just finished doing Standpoint, then Parallax came out. I was doing all these, and then, you know, Talos Principle before that, all these puzzle games.
So it's more like genre fatigue also played into your appreciation for City Skyline.
Yeah, it's just a nice chill out game, man.
I guess it's also an allegory to the fact that a lot of people are tired of a lot of EA's crap. Because
exactly.
Speaking of EA's crap, they pretty much crapped on Maxis at the start of the month by closing. They closed one of the Maxis branches.
Yeah, that's right. The guys who were responsible for the latest SimC, I believe.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? I mean, I was a huge Sims 1 fan, and I'm not afraid to admit that I did buy a share of my expansion packs for The Sims 1 back in the day.
The dating ones.
Actually, I think like I bought like House Party and like one of the future ones where I got like finally had staircases that weren't like 4 blocks wide. You know.
Well, that's the funny thing. Like the very first PC games I ever played were Roller Coaster Tycoon and The Sims, pretty much. Like those were the only types of games I ever used. Like way back in the day, they were the first games I ever played.
Yeah, I mean, Sims 1 was my jam because I remember in Sims 1, I made my own custom items, and in Sims 2, I made my own custom clothes because they actually give you the tools to do those things. Yeah, I mean, it looked terrible. Like I was trying to put like bands that I liked at the time on my t-shirts, but the clothing.
As well, though.
Yeah, you could like download like I think like new meshes and stuff.
Yeah, and skins, and I used to have RoboCop and the Mask Light walking around the house and shit.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, there was a time where I think everybody just adored, you know, Maxis and The Sims, and then you know, EA started doing its thing, and we no longer have Maxis anymore. And I feel like to a certain extent, a lot of the grief that Maxis got was EA's doing. You know, the whole debacle with SimCity, the whole fact that it had to be always online when it didn't really need to be. And,
completely screwed themselves over in that regard.
Yeah, I feel like they had so many missteps throughout that entire situation that it's not surprising to see Maxis drop, you know.
So there's no other branch of Maxis then? Was the one that got closed, was that?
Well, I don't know. See, when I read up about it, it said it was a certain branch of Maxis, but I don't know if that was like a renaming, and like Maxis is like an in-house name, and you know, this is one of the smaller studios that got turned into a part of Maxis, and you know, they sort of like melded together in some way. I don't know the full story, but
yeah, I remember reading an article as well where like it was like, I think it was on Kotaku, where they like listed all of the studios that EA has bought and are no longer kind of in operation today, and it was pretty crazy to see. You know, it wasn't a short list.
I mean, that's the thing. When you look at studios like EA, Activision, rip in peace, freaking Neversoft, the original creators of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater. So the interesting thing is, and I kind of a reason to bring this up.
They're like the best opening FMV ever, with like the spike going through the eyeball. Remember that?
Yeah, definitely. They had some of the best videos. Like some of the devs would be part of the bailing videos at the end of Tony Hawk, where they're developers, but they tried to skateboard and they're falling on their faces. But you know, they put it in. I'm like, I like these guys. These guys are awesome. But I mean, that's the thing. When you look at it, it's really sad to see like companies like Neversoft, Maxis, you know, they get bought out by a larger corporation like EA or Activision, and then they're put on projects where they don't flourish, and then they have to deal with the aftermath of what the publisher wants or what the larger company wants. And I think a nice example of a similar trend happening, I would say, is with Visceral. Visceral, who are known for the Dead Space series. Dead Space 1, awesome. Dead Space 2, fantastic. Dead Space 3, as maybe some people on the channel know, horrible. And I think it dealt with a lot of issues that, you know, forced co-op, microtransactions, things that I'm pretty sure were probably more of an EA call than Visceral.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, Visceral are not known for necessarily being the most unique of minds. You know, they also did Dante's Inferno, which was pretty much God of War. And to be honest, Dead Space is pretty much Resident Evil 4, sort of, you know. But
at least it had its own kind of quirks to it.
That's what Visceral does well. And I guess in a way, you can see how Visceral, who are now working on Battlefield Hardline, sort of in that same vein, you know, they're copying a formula that works, but I'm afraid that, I mean, from things that I've read about Battlefield Hardline, I think Visceral is going to take a lot of heat for some of the things that might have not been in their their decision.
It's a weird one, especially with Battlefield Hardline. I don't think it's really been received too greatly. I think it's just kind of had the standard reception that a big budget kind of first-person shooter would. And but I kind of read the other day that it was the biggest selling game of like 2015 in the UK. I was like, what? That's crazy. But I guess it kind of caters to a certain audience, and you know, they went and bought it. So there you go.
Yeah. I mean, obviously with the amount of marketing behind it and everything, I'm sure that it's going to do well. But you know, it's sort of a trend where, like, I'm actually kind of happy that Activision sort of wised up in a way with Call of Duty, where they now brought on Sledgehammer, was it? Who did the most recent Advanced Warfare? Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, they did that one.
So, I mean, they've got, what, 3 studios in rotation, and to be frank, you know, they're not exactly reinventing the wheel every time, but at least with, like, Advanced Warfare, we saw some new things in that. So, you know...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Hopefully...
That's right. Who's next? It's the guys who did it's the World of War guys, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it's Treyarch next.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because Infinity Ward did the Ghost. So
yeah. So I mean, I'm sort of hopeful that we start to not see Maxis situations anymore. But you know,
I guess it's always going to be a factor. But no one really likes to see a studio close, especially when it's one that has kind of been responsible for some of the best games I used to play, like back in the day.
Yeah. In closing for Maxis is I don't know, it felt like the writing was on the wall. Like, I think the optimization in Sims 2 and 3 were pretty bad, and you know, they always suffered from such major bugs where that game they never introduced autosave at any point. So if that game ever crashed, like it was prone to crash because of who knows why, you would lose hours of progress if you weren't saving like a madman. So
yeah, well, that's even in the later cities. But luckily there was a mod on the first stage to have it auto save if you so choose. There is a hotkey as well. So
yeah, but I mean,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, so I mean, it's unfortunate, but hopefully, you know, our favorite studios don't keep going this way, because God, like you said, you know, there are so many studios that have closed because not only have they been absorbed by a corporation, but then they're left to fester in whatever crap gets thrown on their table, you know.
Well, that's it. Yeah, they probably lose pretty much the majority of the say of what they do from that point on. So
yeah, like I'm where's Monolith? You know, speaking of which, like the original creators for Fear, like I haven't seen a Monolith game since what, Condemned 2?
Right, yeah.
I don't even know, but hopefully they're doing well. I think they were doing like a Lord of the Rings game or something. I don't know.
Oh, really?
I don't remember. It's been so long. That's how long it's been. I can't even keep up. I can't even keep tabs on Monolith.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you.
But I don't know. Moving on to, I guess, more. I don't know. This one still confuses me because I don't know the specifics, and I think everyone on the both sides have been quiet. But apparently, Hideo Kojima, best known for Metal Gear, is going to leave Konami after Metal Gear Solid 5, right?
Yeah, so this news is pretty fucking shitty when you're a Metal Gear fan like me. And it's really weird, like no one really knows the circumstances of why this is even happening. But I guess Koji Pro or Kojima Productions are gonna separate from Konami, and that means no more Metal Gear because Konami owns Metal Gear.
Well, actually,
no more. No. Listen. No more Metal Gear by Hideo Kojima
yeah,
or Kojima Productions, but apparently the series is going to continue,
yeah,
according to the Konami press release. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with that, because everyone knows that the heart and soul behind the series is literally in Kojima's hands.
yeah.
But I don't really want to speculate on what's going to happen with the series, but in terms of what's happening between those two, no one knows where Kojima is. He literally gave no statement. Konami have like put out a couple of statements. Oh, everything's fine. You know, we're going to keep on making Metal Gear. Everything is good. Like, what the fuck? What's going on? Like, I don't even know.
Well, what's interesting is the press release did not mention Kojima at all. Like, he was omitted from everything. Like, they talked about Metal Gear, but nothing about Kojima or his studio. So
and they've completely started removing his name from the assets related to the Phantom Pain, which is obviously not out yet. So a Hideo Kojima game has like been taken away, and I guess there must be some kind of bad blood there. Like, I don't understand why they would do that, other than if Kojima's like pissed him off in some way, or who knows? Because you know what Kojima's like. He pretty much said it's going to be the last Metal Gear since #2, but it's pretty surreal when it actually is the last one. At least it's looking like it from Kojima this time.
Right. Surely, I don't know. Yeah, see, because this is a weird situation. Because when you think about it, what does Konami have going for it other than Metal Gear?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got the reemergence basically of Silent Hill, but again, that is tied to Kojima.
Yeah.
So I have so many questions, and I wish someone would answer them. Like, what's going
to happen with Silent Hills?
Exactly. What is the state of Silent Hill now? Is this going to be another? I can never pronounce his name. Whatever. The wonderful director that I can never pronounce his name. Right. Because he was supposed to do another horror game which got tanked.
Right. Yeah.
And then he was signing on to this, and with Kojima and the mind games and everything. The entire gaming industry is just like, yes, this is the best pairing we could have asked for. And now we're like, now Kojima's missing, and we're like, whoa, guys, hello. Yeah, it just kind of scares me about what is the future of Silent Hill, because again, Silent Hill, Metal Gear, probably the biggest things Konami has left going for it. And with Kojima leaving, what do they have? Castlevania?
Yeah, but what's happening with that? You know?
Yeah. So.
They've got Pro Evolution Soccer as well, I think so.
Right, which is big in like one area of the world, one region.
Yeah. But I don't even know, man. I'm excited to see what Kojima's going to do next, regardless of who he's with.
Well, this is what I was thinking. Like, Kojima is in a position where he can pretty much take an Unreal kind of position where he could be like, because he has the new Fox engine, which looks amazing.
Exactly.
So he could pretty much be like, I'm just going to source out the Fox engine to anyone who wants to use it and sit back and count my money,
Yeah.
But obviously, wherever Kojima goes, he's going to get a job. Like, there's no way.
I feel like they fucking kidnapped him or something. They're like locked him in the Konami basement. I don't even know. Like, he's just not speaking. And that's the other thing is as well. Like, other employees, have said that they've been restricted to like tweet and like they can't say anything. It's all pretty crazy. I'll be interested to see what develops of this story.
Well, I think that's more of like an NDA, because it deals with inner workings of a company. So that's kind of understandable.
So we might not even find out until the game has been released.
Or we may never know, That's the sad thing.
We'll find out at some point.
Well, I'm sure Kojima will resurface at some point, but, we may never get the full story of what happened between Kojima and Konami. So
yeah, at least probably not for a long time, but
I tell you what I would like to see, though. I would like to see Kojima sort of go independent in a way, where he's able to do the things that I think that Konami would never let him do. Because, he always had to do Metal Gear because Metal Gear was a thing that sold for Konami. But I feel like...
One of the interviews he said was he probably won't have a job by the time it's done because a lot of people aren't going to agree with what he wants to do. So, and then this happens, it kind of makes you wonder, like, what the fuck's going on in Metal Gear 5, Yeah. I mean, obviously we saw a little bit in ground zeros, but yeah.
But I was thinking, like, what if he does like a Keiji Inafune thing where he goes, okay, you the publisher do not want to make the game I want to make. I'm gonna go maybe kickstart it, or just go to another publisher and be like, okay, here's the thing, I'm Hideo Kojima. I want to make another Zone of Enders game, or I want to make another Police Knots game, and we'll just make a spiritual successor, and that will probably sell. Because I know that people have been wanting those.
Konami owns.
Well, that's what I mean. A spiritual successor, similar to like Inafune did Mighty Number 9 instead of Mega Man. You know, so I would love to see Kojima just be like, you know what, Konami, you want to just make me make one game and that's it? I'm gonna go somewhere else and do what I want to do.
More people are going to be interested in what Kojima does from here on out than what Konami do. I mean, you know, the new Metal Gear, obviously. I really don't like it being in Konami's hands, to be honest. What is it going to be? Annual? You know what I mean? No one can tell a story like Kojima can. It's pretty shitty. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the series out of curiosity, but I've got Kojima's back more than Konami's at this point.
Oh yeah, I think pretty much everyone has Kojima's back on this one.
Yeah.
Again, because I think Kojima is pretty much what has been keeping Konami afloat for a long time now.
Yeah.
But I would say maybe one shining beacon, maybe, is that maybe Konami will give Platinum another shot at Metal Gear Rising, and we'll get another Metal Gear Rising. So
yeah, I'm still looking forward to that. So
yeah. So I mean, you know what? If Konami will make Platinum their new #1 developer, I'm all for it. You know, because I think Platinum is one of those developers that definitely doesn't get as much love as they deserve. You know, the fact that they had to turn to Nintendo for Bayonetta 2, that's just ridiculous. Like, that should have been a multi-platform game from the start.
Yeah,
so
that's insane, man. I really don't understand that. That is just crazy.
Yeah.
And Rising is definitely a game that deserves a sequel. So
yeah. So Konami, if you're somehow listening, you best get on the phone with Platinum.
We'll make sure whoever fucking develops the next Metal Gear ain't shit.
Yeah. All right, so maybe we can move on to something a bit more positive. I guess if you're a PC gamer, at least. So it was recently announced that Star Citizen, the game that has made an ungodly amount of money at this point, just through crowdsourcing.
Figures.
They're in the millions. I think they're like $7 or $8 million raised, maybe even more. I don't know,
dude. I think it's like, isn't it like something ridiculous, like tens of millions,
70 million, maybe. I see the number is so high I can't even fathom what is a.
Yeah, I'm gonna look now. Like,
yeah, look it up.
Is.
So Star Citizen recently announced it's gonna be about at least 100 gigabytes.
Yeah, something huge like that, and it passed 69 million in January.
Wow. Okay, that was way off.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, man. Like in the tens of millions, and they expect it to go past 100. It might have even passed that since January. I didn't even know. This is January numbers, so there you go.
And the reason that it's 100 gigs is because it's using 8K textures, and for anyone who doesn't understand, no system currently out there apparently can run 8K textures. Yeah. Like, we're only on 4K. That's the largest our displays go right now.
75 million this month it passed, by the way.
Well, Jesus Christ. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being like, hey, I want to make a game, and you get $75 million for it just because people love your idea?
That's insane, man. It's crazy. And the thing is, in the game you have to actually buy stuff as well. It's not like
oh yeah, the ships are like, you have to insure your ships, and they cost like 100 something or something like that.
Some of them are expensive just to buy.
Yeah, it's like, it's insane. And you know, I would not be able to play this game even if I had the money to afford it. Like 100 gigabytes, it takes me hours to download just a few gigs. Or
I feel like hours, it's also going to be one of them games where you've put so much money into it, you're just going to spend all of your time in this game. It's just going to overtake your life, I feel like. It does look good, though. I've been watching gameplay videos.
Yeah, and, it looks fantastic.
It looks amazing.
And when they were asked about why they're going so big and so hard with everything, pretty pretty much their explanation was we want to make the PC the leading platform again because since the consoles were introduced, technology took a back seat.
That was pretty much one of their main I guess like buzzwords, or one of the main intentions behind the original Kickstarter, wasn't it? Like, this is a PC game.
Yeah.
Give us all your money. We'll make the best PC game ever. And
that's great. Like, I look at that and I'm like, I appreciate the sentiment, but I won't be able to afford it.
So let's just clear up, right? They are going with 8K textures, but it does support. You could play it on lower, right? It's not.
But yeah, you can scale it down, but they're future-proofing, so to speak.
Exactly. Yeah, it's going to be accessible for years and years to come, apparently.
Yeah. I can't imagine. So here's the thing. For the first time in my life with this new PC that I built, I have a PC that is capable of at least running things on high. Like, I've never had a PC that powerful. I cannot imagine a PC that can run 8K textures on a screen that I can appreciate the fidelity that high. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to reach that point in my life unless I somehow drop into a vat of money that I can just spend ad infinitum. It's not going to happen. And I'm just like, I appreciate the effort, but man, you guys are shooting so... You guys are not hitting the glass ceiling. You guys are like busting ceiling and going into the atmosphere that I'm never going to see.
Yeah. If you had a shitload of money, you probably will buy like the most awesome PC you could possibly buy.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't think I'd go over the top, I don't know. I guess. Whatever.
I think Star Citizen is going to become the new Crysis.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
I remember those days, man, where the joke was, but can it run Crysis? It's going to be, can it run Star Citizen? I can't wait for that. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably even started happening.
You're going to need like 4 Titan X SLI'd something.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, goddamn, those specs.
I'm just going to go back and just play Tunnel B1 on the PlayStation 1 or something.
That's the crazy thing. Like, I probably mentioned this before, but it's so funny that I have PC power now, but still my favorite games to play are like retro looking games and everything. I'm just sometimes I wonder, what am I doing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is nice to have it. I not have to worry about if you can run a game though. Yeah,
it's nice that I don't have to start
as soon as I get
game.
to the point, as soon as I get to the point where I have to worry about if I can run something, that's when it's time to upgrade. I feel like.
Yeah, it's always disheartening when you have to push lower.
Yeah, luckily I've never had to do that. I think The Witcher 2 is the only game which I've not been able to run on high, like the fucking ultra settings. So that's pretty good, I think.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty good because Witcher 2 on the PC was meant for the PC, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I think the console port is like a really gimped version of the PC version, so...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which apparently, quickly, the latest GTA 5 update on consoles has apparently scaled down the graphics a little bit. That's interesting.
Yeah. But apparently that was just a minor mistake, so...
Yeah, apparently they did that. It happen before, like the trees looked weird or something, so...
I wouldn't be surprised if they were like debugging, so they turned off a whole bunch of settings just to, make things run faster or whatever, and forgot to just turn them back on.
Yeah, it's probably the case.
Yeah, but it is pretty funny to see consoles just freaking out. Oh my god, my next gen doesn't look next gen enough. What's going on?
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll finish up with something that actually kind of, I guess, maybe includes us. Is YouTube is going to be focusing on gaming when they, I guess, relaunch their entire live streaming service.
So yeah, that's where the Twitch money went, I guess, on the new YouTube live streaming, which is pretty interesting. I guess we'll see what happens there.
Do you think YouTube will find itself as a legitimate competitor to Twitch, or do you feel like it's going to become like another Hitbox or whatever other services out there?
It's really hard to say, isn't it? Because like it depends. I mean, obviously Twitch has a pretty good system where the monetary aspect of it is pretty straightforward. I mean, is YouTube going to have a subscriber thing like that?
Yeah.
again, another thing as well is like audio content and third-party content, like streaming live.
Exactly.
What is going to happen with that? I mean, it's already pretty shit on the standard YouTube. I mean, you know, I know Twitch took steps to kind of curb that as well, but nothing really hinders a live broadcast, I guess you could say, just the videos on demand. But that's the part of the YouTube live streaming that intrigues me, is like the archiving purposes, especially for a channel who is predominantly YouTube like ours.
Right.
It might be a lot easier to kind of get VODs up of like gameplay, and I'll be interested to see what happens with that kind of stuff. But yeah,
it's an interesting thing though, is you can already do that via Twitch, you know.
Yeah, you can do it all on Twitch. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the whole thing with copyrighted content intrigues me the most, because as Joe and I are very familiar with, we get flagged for so much audio bullcrap. It is ridiculous. And for those of you who do not know, in YouTube's eyes, we are guilty until proven innocent. So any Joe Schmo douchebag out there can be like, hey, they're playing my copyrighted content. Throw ads on their video and then give me the revenue from that ad, or we're gonna take the video down completely. You know,
that's the funny thing about it. We don't even have ads on our videos at the time of recording this.
Yeah. So that's the weird thing, is I think that if YouTube wants to compete with Twitch, they're going to have to rethink their entire way of doing copyrighted stuff, because I would say that Twitch's handling of copyright is probably the best compromise right now, in that they don't completely take down your archived footage, they just mute the bits with copyrighted content.
Exactly. Yeah. It's been working. There was a bit of an uproar at the start, but I think in practice it's actually been pretty okay. I
will say that it sort of discourages me from going back and watching VODs, but you know, from what I can watch from VODs, I usually do. So yeah, I think it's the best we're gonna get for now. But again, if YouTube wants a piece of that Twitch pie, they're gonna have to come out of this guilty until proven innocent shtick, because it's not gonna fly with live streamers.
Yeah, I'm interested, man. We'll see what happens. Nobody knows any details yet, but a lot of money, so guess we'll find out.
Yeah, it surprises me though that at this point, Google, arguably the largest company in the world, is still getting trumped by Twitch, you know?
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
But maybe this is the turning point. Maybe this is the turning point where YouTube becomes the home to esports and the largest variety streamers in the world, you know? So
I think they're going to start poaching people from Twitch.
That's interesting, you know?
Lyric's going to get a PM. Come on, Lyric, come over to YouTube, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll try to do some sort of monetization with the top streamers, but
that's what happened with people like Nadeshot, MLG, Call of Duty player.
Yeah,
he streams on MLG.com now, or whatever it is.
Yeah,
he doesn't stream on Twitch, and that's because MLG was like, yeah, dude, we'll pay you all this money, come and stream on our website, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we've seen it happen before, but again, people don't go to MLG for a lot of esports stuff these days. It's still primarily Twitch.
Yeah, it's a weird compromise. It's like, yeah, we'll give you all this money, but you're not going to get your subscriber money or your donation money that you can probably earn on Twitch, you know? So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what YouTube does in that respect.
Yeah.
So obviously money is a big part of it for the full-time streamers and stuff like that. So
yeah. I'm interested to see how they're going to determine, you know, like how would they pay their top streamers, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, even more to the point, like you were talking about MLG. MLG even paid for exclusive rights to, I think, like the first showing for like PewDiePie's podcast or something back when he was doing podcasts.
Wow.
And that didn't move MLG's numbers much. So, you know, it is definitely going to be very interesting to see how YouTube approaches live streaming, because Twitch is such a monster right now and has its claws so deep in the live streaming community.
One of the good things about it is that maybe it'll be easier to get noticed on there, because there's such a sea of people who stream on Twitch now that maybe whatever this is, you know.
I guess so, but again, you have to get people to look at the YouTube live stream list in the first place, you know. how do you detract eyes from Twitch and move them to YouTube?
Yeah. What are the numbers we put on Twitch? We might match them on YouTube, maybe. So.
Well, we're smaller, so I mean, we might have a shot. Like, I think that's maybe the only upside is people who know us on YouTube but don't necessarily know us on Twitch. Yeah. That could definitely help us for YouTube viewers who would be like, oh, I like this video. Oh, wait, they're live streaming. I mean, we already have that notifier for Twitch
that's
on YouTube. So, I mean, there's that. But it would be interesting if YouTube makes that even more spectacular, you know?
Yeah,
so,
more prominent.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, but obviously, it's too early to really tell. I'm just excited.
Yep.
So I was going to say, in terms of other things that I think were announced a little too soon, or, you know, things that we're going to have to wait a long time to hear anything more about, is apparently Nintendo is also going to be making a new console next year. They're going to talk about it more, but they decided to announce it now, which is weird.
Yeah,
but
it was a pretty, not, you know, obviously not very detailed. People don't, it's like, did he ever clarify it was a handheld or an actual home console?
No, they just said we'll have more information next year.
Sweet, I'm excited.
I just found that such a weird thing to just say. Like, oh yeah, another console's coming. It's like, okay,
yeah.
Should I invest in a Wii U? Is
yeah.
You know?
I think I still would at this point. I guess because there's like literally no information about it. But
I mean, the question is, if a new console is coming, are my Wii U games going to be useless? You know, similar to the Xbox 360 and Xbox One and PS3 and PS4. Ugh.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I always felt the PS4 has a good kind of catalog on it though, in terms of like PlayStation Network.
Yeah.
I want a PS4 for Bloodborne.
Yes. Let's not even go down that street because we're just gonna end on a
none of us own PS4s right now. I'm gonna go on this year though, so hopefully soon. We'll see. There's not been any games on it though for me to actually justify buying one now, but now Bloodborne's out. Phantom Pain's gonna be coming out on consoles first, a couple of weeks before PC. Not sure I can wait those 2 weeks, so that might be the time.
Yeah, and speaking of anticipated games, I think we'll just leave it as one game. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PC.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if that thing gets delayed again, I'm gonna flip a table and just...
Yeah. We were looking forward to that, just because it's going to be a good multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon.
I just want to play it on this rig that I have that can actually play PC games, and every month has just been like, oh, you want to play it? Oh, sorry, you're gonna have to wait another month. Like, well, thanks, Rockstar.
Yeah,
yes, I'll continue to sit here disappointed. And here's my thing: they keep delaying it. I swear to God, if it's not optimized properly or the servers go down, so help me God, I'm gonna be so annoyed. Because that's the thing with Rockstar is with the initial launch of GTA Online, there were problems. When they released the heists, there were problems. So if the PC release, there are problems. The PC Master Race is gonna have some things to say, and I just want to play the game, and I'm afraid for Rockstar.
They definitely setting themselves up for criticism if it's not perfect.
Especially with PC gamers, man. PC gamers expect a level of pristine quality to their experiences, and
I don't really care that much. I played the game on the Xbox.
we're reasonable people, but there are some people out there who take PC gaming seriously. I mean, come on, 8K textures, Mr. 8K ready quadruple Titan X out there is going to be anticipating Grand Theft Auto, and if it's not pristine, he's going to get a angry talking to on the forums. But I think that will do it for this drop pod. But again, many topics were said.
Yeah, man. March has been a crazy month, man. Not even just for the channel, but just in general.
Yeah. But pretty excited to see what April brings. You know what I'm not excited about, though? All the April Fool's things we're going to have to deal with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I actually look forward to those. I always remember. I like seeing the people's reactions who forget. You know,
the worst are the people who try to get ahead or after April 1st. I'm like, you guys are cheating. All right, if you can't think of a good joke that happens on April 1st, then you guys are just playing cheap.
That's true. That's true.
But anyway, yeah, I guess we'll leave it there.
All right, man.
Before we close it out, I would like to extend all the things that we talked about to you lovely listeners. Would love to know what you guys think of any of the topics we discussed, especially if you know where Kojima is. Maybe we should start Kojima Watch 2015.
Yeah, where is that guy?
If you've seen Kojima, please leave a comment and let us know that he's safe and is being fed well and...
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely being fed well. Have you followed his Twitter? Jesus.
Oh. Anyway, that was the Drop Pod, episode 3. God dang, man. That Half-Life 3 joke really screwed me up. I swear to God.
That was like last month.
I know. It's a joke that was so bad, I'm reveling from it a month later. Ugh.
Yeah, the listeners probably are as well.
The jokes are damaging my brain. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next month for another Tengu Drop podcast, or Drop Pod, for those in the know. Yo.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a shortening, like a gangster thing. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we could distribute these on USB sticks and in cocaine packages or something.
Did you hear the latest Drop Pod, man? Oh, is that the street name? Anyway.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Joe, for joining me once again, and we'll see you guys next time for another Drop Pod.
Yeah,
Bye.
see you later, guys.